They call me Dan, the Lakers fan. And I got a master plan for the Lakers back to the promised land. Spread the vision through my people, cause we fans are equal. When we reach 20K subs, yeah, we gon' drop a sequel. Another Laker anthem track, watch me run it back. Got the keys to the city where my Laker jack.
Welcome to NBA Weekly with your host, DTLF.
What's up, family? It's your boy DTLF back with another episode of NBA Weekly, where we got a lot to break down because this is the final week of the regular season. So there's so much to talk about, starting with tomorrow's game. Well, we're not going to get into pregame, but definitely the importance of it, the standings, where we could end, how many games we need to win, as well as the final power rankings of the regular season and the NBA award predictions. We're going to get into all of that. Starting with the Lakers status for tomorrow. How you guys doing? Good to see you, Kimiko, RJ, Prince, Rodell. Good to see you guys. All right, let's start with tomorrow night's news, and that is the fact that we will be missing several players potentially tomorrow, okay? Luka Doncic potentially out, questionable with the quote-unquote right groin strain. DFS, left ankle effusion. LeBron James, left groin strain. Bronny James, illness. Hate that sound of that. Austin Reeves, right ankle sprain, and Gabe Vincent, left knee effusion are all questionable. Now, you guys might ask, damn, are all those players injured? Absolutely not. What's happening is that the Lakers are thinking of punting away tomorrow night's game versus the Thunder, since we already got the mental edge over them, and we basically got the West on lock now. They're thinking of punting it away for one reason and one reason only. And that is because we faced the Mavericks on a back-to-backs. So for two reasons. One, we want to make sure we win that Mavericks game for Luka. We don't want to be tired off of that back-to-back. Stupid schedule makers continue to try to ruin us. So this is the loophole around it, and I love it. By the way, if the Lakers finish with 50 wins, which means 2 more wins out of the last 4, they will lock up the 3rd seed. All right, guys? And because we have tiebreakers over the rest of these teams right here. All right, so it is very favorable that, like I said, if the Lakers at the bare minimum win 2 games, and 2 very winnable games. Again, the Dallas Maverick game and the Portland Trail Blazer game, who's a tanking team. We could also beat the Rockets. But just saying, what do you guys think of this strategy of resting most of our players? I want to know, because a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people were saying, no, we should win. We shouldn't risk it. We should play everybody. That's what I want to know. What do you guys think? And I'll give you guys my opinion, because honestly, I like it. I think it's very strategic and very intelligent. The last thing you want is to be in a dogfight, because obviously OKC wants revenge. To be in a dogfight with OKC, worst case scenario, you lose, even though if it's a closer game. And then you got to go the next day and play the Mavericks. And now you're tired from the previous game, you know. So that's the only thing, man. That's the only thing that concerns me. I want to know. Let's see. Vern says, I like it. Isaiah Porter says, sup, Dan? How you been? Been good, Isaiah. Thanks for asking. He said, our team, Lake Show, better win tomorrow against the Thunder, against home LA without all starters. Here's the thing. Looks like the Thunder are going to play everybody, and the Lakers are going to play nobody. Okay, I just showed the injury report right there. The Lakers are already kind of mailing it in, letting the league know, hey, we got some injuries, so we don't get fined. Sounds like LeBron, Luka, everybody is going to rest up for that Dallas Maverick game. Now, remember, the Dallas Maverick game is bigger, and we match up better. We already got the win we needed versus OKC. Now, if OKC decides to play everybody, can you imagine if our B team comes out here and competes and actually beats them? That would be the most demoralizing for OKC. That's best case scenario. But again, I think it was smart. It was smart. We want to win that win for Luka versus the Mavs. We're going to need that one, and I think they're going to go all in for that one. Either way, we get 2 wins. We got the 3rd seed locked up. All right, let's see. My boy CJ says, hey, Dan, I like it. Secure the 3rd seed and get to the playoffs healthy. Yeah, and that's another thing. We do not want to risk injury playing back-to-backs this late in the season. Okay? We just beat the Thunder, smoked them. We have the mental edge over them, regardless of whatever happens tomorrow, because we're not playing our guys likely. So I think it's a very smart strategy. We'll be healthy, well-rested. We know AD is going to bring his A game for the Mavericks game. That's the one we want to win for Luka. All right, his return to Dallas is going to be epic. All right. So I can't wait. But if our B team can at least compete, I'd be happy with that tomorrow. Let's see. D Prince says, I think that's a great strategy, Dan. We need 2 wins, and I think we can get that versus the Mavs and Rockets. It's a coin flip anyways for the second game versus OKC, so might as well rest guys. I agree with that. 110% agree. I think it's the best. Vern says, I believe the Lakers want to dominate the Mavs, then beat the Rockets Friday. That's best case scenario. And that way we might not even have to play anybody on the final game on Sunday before the playoff starts. You know, the more rest we can get, the better. However, I don't want to take too many games off because you know what happens with the Lakers when they start taking games off. Sometimes they come out rusty. But again, it's nice to see that the Lakers have a strategy in place. It looks like these are the players that won't be playing tomorrow. All right, because all of a sudden they all became questionable, which tells me that, you know, those are the players they're thinking of holding out. Right? So again, Gabe, Austin, LeBron, Bronny, DFS, and Luka. That means everybody else most likely will play. So the reason they report this ahead of time, that way the NBA don't investigate and be like, wait a minute, y'all reported this last minute. You know, and this is also for the tickets, or the people that buy tickets can know those players are probably not going to play and can just, you know, don't feel robbed if they buy those tickets. Appreciate you, Kimmy Goat. But I mean, so many things here that are going to factor into the final couple of games this season. I want to go ahead and share the standings with you guys because, man, the West is always this interesting. Always, and always will be. You got to love it. Check this out. So, Lakers, there's like a 75% chance we're going to end up here, barring any catastrophes and losing 3 out of 4. But Lakers are probably going to end up 3rd, which means we're going to face, it could be any of these teams. It could be the Nuggets, the Clippers, the Warriors, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Memphis Grizzlies. Those are the teams that are, one of them is going to land in the 6th slot. These 1, 2, 3, 4, these 4 teams right here. They're all battling to see who can get out of the play-in tournament. Now, looking at the schedules, guys, you know, the Timberwolves got the Suns coming up, so that's going to be a tough. I mean, that should be an easy win for them on paper, but you never know when you actually play them. Suns still on the fringe right here, battling for their playoff life, but I think they're mathematically they might be eliminated from the play-in tournament. I'm not sure. Got to double check that. Again, Minnesota has it tough. Memphis, where they play next, the Hornets. Again, that should be a easy win for them on paper, but you never know in the NBA. So those 2 teams might actually move up. Golden State, they just lost, and they play the Suns on TNT. So again, hopefully the Suns can beat them. I want to see Golden State slide all the way down. The Clippers, I wouldn't mind. There's a reason I wouldn't mind the Clippers actually playing us in the 1st round and getting the 6th slot. Not because I like the Clippers. God, no. God forbid. But because we would have home court throughout the playoffs. Like literally, it would be easy for us to stay here. We wouldn't have to travel. It would almost be like cheating. We'd be fresh for the next series. So that would be great. And I don't believe in that team at all. Right? Let's see. Katrina says, hey, Dan, we can get the 3rd place. One more of your predictions for the season. You are always on target because you are educated and invested in the Lakers. Thank you. Let's go Lakers. Appreciate that, Katrina. You know, it's crazy. I called 50 wins for the Lakers before the season started for the sheer fact that Darvin robbed us of a lot of wins and we almost got to 50 last season. So I was like, ain't no way in spite of injuries and everything, there's got to be a way to get to 50 with a better head coach. And sure enough, we're on the verge of doing that. So that would be nice if another one of my predictions came true, Katrina. That would be awesome. 50 wins. We already won the most wins we've won since 2020. We already surpassed Darvin Ham's record from last season, even if they, God forbid, but even if they weren't to win anymore this season, we've surpassed last year already in spite of the trades, in spite of everything that has gone down. So, again, let me ask you guys this. Who do you guys want to see in the 1st round? I'm low-key cheering to play the Clippers in the 1st round since, like I said, it is an absolute cheat code to stay here at home. Or I wouldn't mind getting revenge on Denver. I wouldn't mind getting revenge on Golden State for the last regular season game we played them. The one team I do want to avoid is Minnesota. They got size. They got youth. They're well-coached. They were just in the Western Conference Finals last year. That's the one team I want to avoid personally, but I'm not afraid of anybody. You saw, and like I've been telling you guys, you know, this team can be anybody when we show up on both sides of the basketball. Let's see. Lakers averaging 49 wins per 82 games historically. 50 wins is the standard. Yes. but we hadn't had 50 wins in quite some time since 2020. So it is definitely an accomplishment, BC. And, I didn't predict it based off of that. I just predicted it based off of Darby Ham being gone. And he was a big nuisance as far as making adjustments. He was not a good coach. So my boy CJ said he wants Clippers or Warriors. Let's go. Let's get it, man. I'll take anybody, but yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Let's see. He said, need that 2 seed to avoid the Nuggets. We're not trying to avoid the Nuggets this time around. Nobody's afraid of a Russell Westbrook-led Nuggets. Nobody. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and pull up this. I'm glad you said the Nuggets because let me go ahead and pull this up. There's a reason nobody gives a flying you-know-what about the Denver Nuggets, and this is the reason why. This guy is an absolute toxicity. Just listen to this little mini interview. I'm only going to play it in bits and clips. Look, they're asking him how the team can improve. They've lost like what? How many? 3 games?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
And he always got that stupid smile like he don't give a damn. They lost 2 out of the last 3 games because of this idiot right here, even though he got his little stats on one of those games. And they're asking him how they can improve the team. Listen to his answers. He's not a winner, y'all.
Your coach just mentioned the urgency of the situation, trying to avoid the play-in right now. Do you feel like in this locker room there's a sense of urgency?
I don't know, man. Not sure.
He's not even trying to answer these questions, y'all. He doesn't give a damn. And Nugget fans are now starting to realize how much of a cancer he is. We've seen it here firsthand. This guy, as long as he gets his stats, he's happy. He doesn't give a shit about championships or none of that. And he's a turnover machine late in games.
Michael Morris called this team one of the most resilient in the league this season. You obviously are able to draw from so many experiences. What can you kind of try to draw from to help this team in a situation like this where you're going?
I don't know. I don't have the answer for you, man. I wish I did, but unfortunately, I don't.
And he's happy about this shit. Just look at this evil, satanic-ass smirk he got on his face. But don't worry. The man's a father. He's a great husband, and he's a Christian. We're going to hit him with the same energy they hit us when he was a player here. He said, but we want all the smoke. Oh, for sure. We want to cook every single person in our path this year, man. I think in a 7-game series, nobody wants to see the Lakers. I don't think it's the other way around. But the guy said they're trying to avoid the Nuggets. There's a reason we don't want to avoid the Nuggets. That's the reason right there. Unless the coach wises up and benches that man, they have no chance in any series. What's up, Nello? Good to see you, bro. He said, I think Count Bricula is double agent for the Lakers, helping us secure the 3rd seed. That dude is an absolute cancer. And I was another of my predictions. I said, I think we'll for sure finish ahead of them in the West due to just them adding, subtraction by addition by adding Russell Westbrook. So it is what it is, man. And I don't even mean to hate on the dude. I'm just telling you, he is not a good player or a winner. All right, let's talk about the awards for this season, man. I want to get your guys' thoughts on what you guys, who you guys think should win the award. We're going to save MVP for last, and we're going to go with, let's see, Coach of the Year. Who do you guys think is the Coach of the Year? I'll let you guys log in your answers, guys, because you know what? Personally, me, I know they're probably going to give it to Kenny Atkinson, but I would definitely make a case that if you finish top 3 in spite of the trades, in spite of everything, you finish top 3 in the West, in spite of the injuries and all that, he definitely deserves consideration. With 50 wins, I will give it to JJ. I agree, CJ. And that's just not me being biased. I would take everything into consideration. Cavs head coach has been great as well. But at one point, you have to look at the factors. Like a rookie coach came in, had blockbuster trades at the trade deadline, had tons of injuries, played probably one of the worst schedules in the NBA due to the fires. Unfortunately, they added the most back-to-backs of any team this season. And you still are going to finish top 3 in the Western Conference, in the bloodbath Western Conference. That is not easy to do, right? So who you guys got? I see a lot of JJ. Katrina says Cleveland coach or JJ Redick. Kenny Atkinson's been phenomenal. The things that JJ's been able to do. Also, you got to look at the player development aspect of things. The way JJ and his coaching staff were able to elevate Austin this year. And, he could, in the future, I've said it, I think he can become a 24 to 25 point per game guy next season if he keeps ascending like this. And you're going to see a lot of mainstream outlets start picking that up and saying the same thing. But I'm telling you right now that a lot of it is due to the coach coming in He also should be in a candidate for in the running for most improved player of the year. But yeah, we don't get awards, unfortunately. The Lakers do not get awards, and that is very unfortunate, man. But if it's Kenny Atkinson or JJ Redick, I'm cool with either one. All right, let's go with most improved player this season. Obviously, I would give it to Austin Reeves. He became the third best player in the league, but I know who they're going to give it to. Guaranteed. It's another one of my predictions. They're going to give it to Dyson Daniels. Okay, because he went from 5.8 points per game to 14.2, and shooting a career best 34.5% from threes. And his defense spiked up. So he's averaging 3.1 steals per game. So I'm not mad at they give it to him. I'm not mad at it, but I wish, our guys would at least get recognized. Not a lot of people have talked about Austin as the most improved player of the year. Who do you guys have as the most improved player of the year? Again, for me, is Austin. Is Austin the, top 3 option, the best third option in the league by far. And he improved. He went from 15 to 20 and did it efficiently. Again, I'm not mad at the Dyson Daniels pick. I know that's going to be the selection for sure. But I just wanted to see my guy AR get some mentions at least. So I'm going to go ahead and mention him. Let's see. Nello says, I love to hear it. Oh, you guys talking about something else? Okay, never mind. Austin Reeves deserves it. I agree, Katrina, but the Lakers never get the awards. Matter of fact, this is why I'm so upset. AD, all these years that he was an elite anchor for the Lakers, he never got Defensive Player of the Year. They're talking about Draymond, who's had like about a month and a half of good defense this season, as the favorite to win that award. So that's what infuriates me. They gift wrap it to their favorite teams. The NBA's golden child, the Warriors. The Lakers never even get up for consideration. The fact that Draymond is even in the conversation is criminal. He hasn't done it enough to actually be up there. Matter of fact, before the Jimmy Butler trade, they were bottom 10th seed in the West. So I don't think Draymond deserves that shit, and he's so dirty, and he gets away with murder every single day. So I'd rather give it to like Amen Thompson from the Rockets, since they have a great record and he's one of the best up and coming defenders. It really should have been Wemby. Unfortunately, he got hurt. So for me, Defensive Player of the Year should be Amen Thompson from the Rockets. He just should. And not even based off of what he did, locking up Curry, the way the Rockets locked him up and held him to 3 points last night. I'm not even talking about that. Yeah. But I agree. Austin Reeves deserves some consideration. He's very underappreciated. Finally, the media's catching wind of what we always knew we had. And even today, if you guys were over there with me on Good Take, Bad Take over on Playback, you heard what they were saying, that it was malpractice not to include Austin in the package. That's something I told you guys when we won the trade the night it happened. The fact that we didn't have to include him and still got Luka was a special trade from Rob Pelinka. D Prince says Draymond Defensive Player of the Year by wrestling guys, by his clownish antics. Nah, rather give it to Dyson, and the steals is crazy. I think Amen Thompson deserves it. Dyson is great. Dyson's been amazing, man. What a nice rising star. You always like to see a story like that. But Dyson's going to get most improved. They're not going to give him 2 awards. I will give Amen Thompson. Now, 6th man of the year. Who do you guys have? Malik Beasley's up there for the Pistons. He's been tremendous. The Pistons have improved tremendously. And, Malik Beasley has come off the bench and did what he couldn't do for the Lakers, which is just absolutely smack threes all game and just be an absolute game changer. But I think they're going to give it to Peyton Pritchard from the Celtics. What do you guys think? That's just my prediction. I think it'll be Peyton Pritchard. He's averaging about 14 points per game. He's been efficient. He hasn't started a single game this season, from what I read earlier. I think he's going to get it. My boy said, yeah, Austin going from 15.9 to 20.2 is definitely deserving of most improved player. Yeah, absolutely, man. How could it not be? It absolutely is. And it's a shame that they haven't mentioned his name once. So I wanted to, of course, do that here on my show. Yeah, Peyton Pritchard, most likely, Daniel. Absolutely. I'm doing good. Brian, how you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Just breaking down NBA Weekly, bro. We're going to get into the power rankings after this. Slim Shady for 6th man of the year. He's going to get it. I hate it, but he's going to get it. Now let's go with the Rookie of the Year. Who do you guys have? There's been a couple of good rookies this year, man. Too bad my guy Dalton couldn't be in there because they didn't play him enough. But it's either got to be Jalen Wells, right? Or my favorite, the guy from the Spurs. What's his name? You guys know what I'm talking about from the Spurs. The Dollar General. Yeah, Castle. I was gonna say Dollar General John Morant. Yeah, Castle. I think Castle. I would pick him. Jalen Wells has been good as well. But what do you guys have? Rookie of the year. Castle. Good pick. Steven Castle. Yep. He said, good, man. Yesterday win got me feeling good. Told you guys, man, never count on our Lakers ever, man. I feel like in a 7-game series, the Lakers still haven't rose all the way to the top of their potential. Even after what we saw yesterday, I still feel like we have another octave to go. So hopefully we get back to the way we were playing. We won 8 in a row. And we're starting to trend back into that direction right before the playoffs. He said, but Peyton, though, yeah, Castle for Rookie of the Year. Malik Beasley's been pretty good. Man, a lot of good players this year have stepped up. Okay, did I already ask you guys this? Defensive Player of the Year? Who do you guys have? I think you guys already told me who you guys had. I got Amen Thompson. I love Amen. You can go with a lot of players here. Some people even had Ivica Zubac. Some people even had Ivica Zubac at the top of the list. I was looking at some lists. Insane. Nello said JJ has been good, but not playing Dalton enough all year. That's a rookie mistake from JJ. He's going to learn the hard way that Dalton deserves minutes. The league truly should be intimidated because we have not hit our peak yet. Just wait till them 7-game series start, man. That's when you see playoff Luka come out, playoff Bron, playoff Austin. All right, let's get to MVP now. This one's very controversial for multiple reasons. Y'all. Who you guys have? I see a Jokic. I disagree with Jokic. He's not even going to finish top 4 probably. So I disagree with Jokic. I think by far, it has to be Oklahoma City Thunder. They got 64 wins on the year. It has to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, right? It's not even close. Denver Nuggets have 47 wins on the year. That's what 17 less than Shai's team. There's no way. If they give it to Jokic, it is absolutely rigged. Bro, I would love to have Amen Thompson one day, CJ. I would love it. SGA, I see a lot of SGA, yeah. Bro, I kid you not. I'm probably gonna do a rant video if they end up giving it to Joker. I really hope it doesn't happen. SGA, look, guys, he's having one of the best seasons for a guard, and I was reading up on it since Michael Jordan as far as efficiency goes. That's what I heard. And he doesn't even rely on the 3-ball. So I think, you know what? I think Shai for sure deserves. He's averaging 32.8 points per game on a 64% true percent shooting. Dude is insane right now. His playmaking has been elite. Yeah, I'm not a fan of his flopping, but just his game is special, y'all. And I think he's a runaway winner just based off of that record in the West. The West isn't easy. Look at the East standings and then look at the West standings. The fact that he was able to accomplish what they did in the West by itself deserves the MVP. That by itself right there. That's without even factoring the numbers that he puts up. But just look, there's such a difference. Like there is a 12-game difference between the first seed and the second seed. Look at the East. There's only a 4-game difference between. And between that and like, come on. Like there's a lot less competition in the East. There just is. Guys, the East is looking really weak right now. Outside of the top 3 seeds, there's a huge fall off here. Okay, as far as competition goes. So, again, for sure, Shai deserves that MVP, man. He ran away with the West. You got Mobley for MVP? Whoa. Whoa. Okay, that's the first time I heard that name pop up, but hey, respect. I mean, so many good players, man. 6 man of the year, you can go Malik Beasley, you can go Peyton Pritchard. I mean, but yeah, my prediction is it will be Shai. Defensive Player of the Year, I have a feeling they're going to give it to Draymond, even though I think you could put so many players there. You could put Evan Mobley. You could put Lou Dort instead. You could put Amen Thompson instead. Rookie of the Year, my prediction, Steven Castle. 6 man of the year, Peyton Pritchard. Most improved player, I think they're going to give it to Dyson Daniels. Those are just my predictions. We'll see what happens there. But that is going to wrap it up for that portion of the segment. He said Nuggets could end up in the play-in. It has to be SGA. Yes. Thank you. Record used to matter in these awards. Otherwise, Kobe got robbed too many times. A record used to matter for sure. And like you said, I really hope and pray, bro, that Jokic ends up in the play-in tournament. I think that would be elite for all of us basketball fans to watch them be exposed towards the end of the season, right? It will be really elite. All right, let's see. Defensive player, my fault. Oh, okay. You were talking about defensive player. All right, good. Rob Pelinka, Executive of the Year. He has to win it. Again, that is absolute robbery if he doesn't win it. But nothing will surprise me with the NBA, guys. The NBA is like that. They don't like giving the Lakers awards. The fact that AD never won a Defensive Player of the Year award will tell you everything you need to know about the way these awards are given. You know, how many does Gogurt have? And he only guards one position right, and that's the 5. He don't even guard all the 4s right properly. And he's got that many. I mean, come on, y'all. Crazy, right? Kenny Atkinson will probably win Coach of the Year, but I would love it if Redick at least got some consideration for sure. All right, let's get into the final portion of the segment, guys, and that is the final power rankings of the regular season. Let's see where they got everybody at. Let's see if they finally got the Lakers where they belong, top 5 for sure. But let's see. I have not looked at these. Utah Jazz were the worst team this season by far. Philly was up there too. Trash. Washington, trash. Charlotte, mega trash. New Orleans, injured. Brooklyn, trash. Toronto Raptors, surprisingly trash. They got a lot of nice wings and depth. Man, the Spurs, I never expected them to be 14 games below 500 by the end of the season with Wemby and after the De'Aaron Fox trade, but those injuries really did them in. So they finished with a Jordan at number 23. Portland Trailblazers, trash. But they got a bright future. I really like Shaedon Sharpe. I really like Scoot Henderson, even though he kind of has underwhelmed by where he got drafted. But they got a bright future. Phoenix Suns, oh my God, this has got to be the most disappointing superstar-led team. All right, Booker, I'm not surprised about Booker. I've been telling you guys for years, that man is an absolute choke artist. But Kevin Durant, the fact that he couldn't elevate his teammates, that really surprised me. And he continues to disappoint me throughout his career. Miami Heat, they had the big Jimmy Butler trade. So, again, I'm not surprised. All that distraction, all the times they suspended him, I'm not surprised they're down there. Dallas, man, they've actually impressed me because in spite of missing so many players, losing AD for the majority since the trade, for the majority of the time, he's played very limited games, losing Kyrie, they still hung in there. They're still fighting for the play-in tournament. So kudos to them. The fact that they're even up here at 19 at 38 and 41 is impressive in the West. Chicago, another impressive team. Can't stand them, though. That ditty-gitty crap they did to us, man, really infuriating. But, yeah, they for sure exceeded expectations. They got better when they traded Zach LaVine. Kings, stupid trade they made. Stupid trade. They didn't even get Castle back in that trade. I thought it was ridiculous. Zach LaVine is nice, but they're not on the Zach LaVine timeline. Zach LaVine would have done better on a contender. Atlanta Hawks, pleasantly surprised by them as well. Trae Young is always a beast, man. Free Trae Young. I want to see my boy Trae Young be on a better team because, man, it is an absolute travesty that, Trae Young is still on a rebuilding, no identity having team. They're just selling wolf tickets to the fans. I think that's the only reason they're keeping Trae Young here because they want to sell tickets. Orlando Magic, they bounced back nicely after, the injuries. The Magic have won 6 of the last 8 games to hold on to 7th place in the East and give themselves a chance to finish at above 500. So shout out to the Magic. They stayed afloat. The Milwaukee Bucks, I mean, they actually, even though the 10 games are 500, I'm still disappointed. When Dame was healthy before the injuries, they really weren't a great team. They should be a lot better than 14 in the NBA. The Pistons, pleasantly surprised, guys. They finished 8 games so far over 500. They still got a couple games to go. They've been losing lately, but they're still a damn good team. They swept us this year. They beat us twice. So disappointed that Lakers lost twice to them, but they are a better team. The Grizzlies, I think they're going to trade Ja Morant soon. This team right here has always been a pretender. I told you guys for years. People were like, oh, Dan, you're underestimating the Grizzlies. No, I'm not, because they don't have true leadership qualities. Indiana Pacers, a little underwhelming, but they're still 16 games over 500. So they're kind of where I thought they would be at 11th. Not too bad. Shout out to them for beating who did they beat the other night? Who did they beat? They beat a team that we needed them to beat. Was it the Denver Nuggets? I think it was Denver. Shout out to them for that. New York Knicks, they're slowly but surely starting to pick up the play and getting better. They've won 6 of the last 8 games. I told you guys, I said it on Around the League. A lot of people didn't believe me, but this is one of those teams that I think can quietly become really dangerous come playoff time. So well, go Knicks. Hopefully they eliminate the Celtics. That'll be my dream come true. Denver Nuggets, again, we knew they were going to be worse this year due to the acquisition of Russell Westbrook and the loss of KCP before, and then they lost Bruce Brown. But to me, this was always a one-hitter quitter. I never thought Jokic was the true MVP for multiple seasons. I never thought this team was a true championship contender other than the year they beat us due to Darvin Ham's inept coaching inabilities. But yeah, I mean, they're right where I thought they would be. I knew they wouldn't be a top 5 team in the league. I knew this team was a pretender. I still believe they're less than this. I think they should be bottom 12. Just by the mere fact of having Russell Westbrook. Now the Clippers have overachieved because they're Garbo, and they are the ultimate pretenders, front runners too. The only reason they're so high is because Tyronn Lue, and I've always said this, is a great coach. He gets the most out of his players. He got Norman Powell playing like an all-star. He got James Harden back to playing, system James Harden ball. You got Kawhi again looking spry. I'm still not afraid of the Clippers. All right, the Clippers are always going to be the Clippers, no matter how good they look, no matter how good Tyronn Lue got them looking. You got Zubats out here looking good and everything, but still, it's the Clippers. All right, toilet bowl team. I'm not afraid of them. The Minnesota Timberwolves. What did I say about them? I was right so far about every team I predicted earlier in the year. People were writing them off since they traded Cat. Quietly, they're getting better and better. Better and better and better and better. They are, 14 games over 500 in the West. They finally hit their stride. They won 5 straight games. They're 14-3 in the last couple games. Julius is starting to play like Julius was in New York. Ant is starting to show up. I mean, watch again. I do not want to see Minnesota in the first round. I've been saying it for months. I'll say it again. Lakers, man, they still disrespecting us. We should have been a top 5 team, especially after the impressive win over OKC, man. We're 3-1 with top 8 teams in the West over the last 9 days, it says here. Scoring a remarkably efficient 123.4 points per 100 possessions. So, again, we should be on top of whatever team is about to come next. The Lakers are legit, man. But I'm glad they at least got us close to the top 5. We're better than the Warriors. This is where the power rankings piss me off. They got the freaking Warriors out here ahead of us. Are you serious? Did they not watch last night's game? That team is not for real, y'all. It's not for real. They took advantage of the easier part of the schedule. We should have honestly beaten them. We laid an egg, but that's crazy that they got them over us, yo. That's crazy. We're 48-30, by the way. We're 2 games better than them. They still got them over us. Okay. Yeah, okay. We beat them 3-1 in the season series, but they still got them over us. Yeah, okay. Okay, NBA.com. The Rockets also shouldn't be over us. We smacked them as well. Even though they got a better record, they shouldn't be over us. We're a better team. But again, power rankings going to power rankings. Celtics, nobody's surprised there. Defending champs. Cleveland, and the team we just destroyed at number 1. Okay, so those are your final power rankings of the regular season, guys. I'm sure they'll give us better power rankings during the postseason. At least that's what I'm hoping for when they realize what the Lakers truly have become. Any comments, questions, concerns? I'd love to answer them now, man. It's been another great episode of NBA Weekly. It's crazy. I brought this series to this channel this year, and the year went by so fast, y'all. So fast, with the exception of 1 month, the month of March. Extremely busy. A lot of birthdays to get to, a lot of different activities, taxes, all that. But you guys like NBA Weekly? Because I think this is going to be a staple moving forward on this channel. And looking to add more stuff. But yeah, I think NBA Weekly was a major success. My guy said swap the Lakers and the Rockets in the power rankings. I agree with that. Definitely I would. I mean, let's be honest. Let's see. My boy said AD made light work of Gobert. He got robbed for Defensive Player of the Year award. Yes, he did. Absolutely. I'm glad you like it. Little Dex is here to stay, man. NBA Weekly. I'm still going to be giving you guys NBA Weekly during the playoffs. So we're going to be previewing matchups, and I'll give you guys my predictions there and all that good stuff. You guys know DTLF predictions tend to land. I'm a 95%er on my predictions when it comes to the playoffs. Let's see. That really irritates me every time the Warriors are NBA's golden child, spoiled child. This is why Draymond got to be acting like a spoiled brat. The fact that he doesn't get ejected just pisses me off. Katrina, awesome. Thank you so much, Katrina. Yes, this is here to stay. I usually tend to do it Mondays or Tuesdays, But yeah, this was another great addition this year, and this is the final episode of the regular season. Next week we'll be covering the playoffs. I can't wait for that. NBA Weekly Playoff Edition is gonna be fire, man. But I'm glad you guys enjoyed this the regular season episodes. This is great for non-Laker fans. I think it's great for Laker fans as well, bro. We covering the Lakers on here as well. Just got here. Oh, you missed the whole episode, man. I'm just about to get off, my boy, but rewind it. This was a great one. We broke down the standings. We broke down the final award predictions, the final power rankings of the regular season. We broke down everything. Lakers finished at 6th. All right. So just in case you don't want to rewind the video, but I'm telling you, Lakers finished 6th, and I think we should have finished top 5, to be honest. But it wasn't too disrespectful. I thought it would have been worse, man, because sometimes these rankings are horrible. So I'm not too mad about it. I want the Rockets versus Golden State Warriors in the first round. Villain Brooks versus Draymond wrestling match. Hey, that would be must-see TV right there. And we're going to get into more playoff matchup talk as soon as we get the, probably next Monday when we get the final seeding and everything, the matchups and everything. I'll give you guys my predictions on who I think is going to win, who's going to advance, what matches we'd like to see out of the play-in tournament, all that good stuff. It's going to be great. My goodness. But all right, guys, make sure you guys hit the like button. This video was sponsored and brought to you guys by Prize Picks. All right, you guys know the promo code. Get you that 50 free bucks to play with. When you type in DTLF and deposit $10, you get 50 to go with that. So and definitely enjoy that. Guys, thank you so much. Kimiko, I appreciate you as always. Appreciate the love, fam. Stay tuned for more. I will see you guys here tomorrow for pregame. For those of you that follow me over on Playback, I'll probably see you guys later on tonight for some gaming action. All right, but thank you guys. Sorry, and I will see you guys soon. They cut off sooner. All right, peace out, guys.